Hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 9:50, May 30th, 2022. Almost the end of May. Hazy, hot and humid, Triple H day today, and tomorrow is going to be absolutely brutal. But today was definitely hot enough, for sure. You can see not a lot of clouds around, just some contrails and haze. I mean, you have a nice blue sky, but there was plenty of sun. I mean, a typical Triple H summer day today, and it is warm out there. Still at this hour, we are around 70 degrees. But if you're on the South Shore, you're in the mid 60s. If you're in the city, it's still 75 at LaGuardia, still reporting 84 at Newark, and 78 at Lakehurst. So yeah, it's probably even worse in New Jersey. And the humidity's up there. We got some humidity out there. It's not brutal humidity, but you can definitely feel it with dew points in the mid 60s out there. So let's go over what our highs were today, because it was pretty hot. And see, we got into the mid 80s today. Islip was only 82, but for us it was more like 85 here. So it was hot. All right, 86 at LaGuardia, and close to 90 in New Jersey. Looks like I see 89 there, 88 at Lakehurst, so close to 90 in Toms River. A lot out of there. Tomorrow it's going to be a lot worse than it was today, though. Today was hot enough. I mean, the South Shore was great, but here in Mineola, horrible. South Shore, the place to be. And you'll see it's cooler on the South Shore right now. They had a nice breeze there with upper 60s there. I was in Merrick and Belmore. Meanwhile, in our area, we got low 70s and no breeze. So, yeah, I don't know. Even though it's just a couple degrees, it just feels so much better on the South Shore with that breeze. There's some air movement. Here, it's like perfectly still. You can see no wind being reported in any of these weather stations here. So let's take a look and see what the day was like in my broiling area. We'll go to Searing, look at this station here. Sure, it reported mid-80s today. Let's see what the high was today. 85.6, that's about right. So, yeah, it was 85, and it was in the 80s all day today. No sea breeze at all. We never got a sea breeze here. Absolutely just brutal all day long. You can see west winds almost the entire day. So it was just like sort of what we were dealing with here in the middle of the island. Meanwhile, if you were in Merrick, you'd be sitting pretty with a nice sea breeze. Let's take a look and see what it was like in Merrick today. Let's see what it got up to today. Oh, no, that thermometer is definitely broken. 108. They're in the sun. That's not good. Can't have that. All right, let's try this station here. South Wantaw, let's see. So right on the South Shore, it was great. You know, they hit 83 as well, according to this station. But it did drop in the afternoon. You can see there's the sea breeze. It dropped into the 70s. We can check a few more stations, too, as well. If you want to check Massapequa, we can do that. And you'll see, I'm sure it was a lot better there. 81, so it did get into the 80s, but not quite as hot, and then it started dropping already in the afternoon into the 70s. I mean, it wasn't a strong sea breeze, but it was enough to keep the South Shore cool. But it never made it up here. It was just brutal. And, you know, on the North Shore, it was probably even worse, like in Glen Cove, for instance. Hempstead Harbor Club, let's see how hot it was there. Sure, it was even hotter there. Let's see. No, 81 actually. I guess they had like a long out. I guess they had a breeze off the sound, I guess. So if you're by right on the water in the North Shore, you get a little bit of a breeze too, I guess. See, the middle of the island's the hottest because we don't get any relief at all. It's horrible here. Let's go to Ridge. Sure, it was just as hot there. I mean, anything above 80, I have trouble on. Tomorrow is going to be even worse. So 82.2. That's not too bad actually. Out east, so it was a little better out east. And then head to the South Shore, right in the water at Bellport Yacht Club. I'm sure they probably only were in the 70s today. Let's see. Yeah, only 71 was the high there. There you go. Only 71. Spoiled brats there, I'm telling you. Meanwhile, you go a little bit inland, like North Patchogue, and you'll see that it's going to be even worse. You can go there. That's just those couple of miles, and you have a southwesterly wind make a difference. So he was 82. So a 10-degree difference. You could see, though, they did get a sea breeze. Whereas we never got one. Again, if you were right on the beach, like at Fire Island, for instance, no stations in Fire Island reporting today. We have no stations reporting from Fire Island. Okay, sometimes we do, but all right, we'll look at Point Lookout then. If you're right on the beach again, you'll see here that only 74.1 there. Oddly enough, a little warmer there than Bellport, I guess, because they're a little further west. But let's see, nice and cool all day long. Meanwhile, you go to the other extreme. Go into extremes here. Let's go into into hell here, and look at what it was like in Toms River today. Yeah, Holiday City, Berkeley. That's the hottest part of Toms River. Let's take a look and see what it got up to there. Probably 90 degrees. 91 degrees there. So there you go. Much more hotter there. No sea breeze. So even worse than Mineola. Yeah, that's absolutely brutal. Well, we're all going to be feeling that kind of heat tomorrow because we're going to have a killer west wind. And that is what's going to make things really suck for tomorrow. So let's go and look at the models, and we'll talk about tomorrow. And then we'll talk about the longer range. But let's first go into the HRRR here and look at what is projected for tomorrow. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to be dealing. You can see the isobars orienting that west flow, but there's a backdoor cold front that comes through. Might actually touch off a shower or thunderstorm. Don't be surprised. Very isolated shower or thunderstorm, perhaps. Probably 8, 9 o'clock, perhaps. And then it'll be very isolated. And then Wednesday, it'll dry out again and will be much cooler that day. All right. But let's look at the dew points now and the wind flow, because this kind of shows the whole story here. Killer west wind tomorrow. See, west wind, no sea breeze unless you're right at the beach. But look at that. There comes the backdoor front. Even in the afternoon, look, here we are, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's already coming through Montauk, and then it's going to come through. And then you could see it's going to come through and bring some relief. But as it pushes into that warm air, it could touch off a shower, a thunderstorm. And then that backdoor front is going to make it. It's going to make it as far as Long Island, and that's it. And then look what happens. It gets pushed back already as we get into the day Wednesday. You can already see that warmer air trying to make its way back in on us. And again, these are just the dew points, all right? But it kind of shows up nicely with the dew points. So when we look at the temperatures, here's what we're dealing with tomorrow again. Everybody is getting into the 90s tomorrow. Everybody's going to go probably low 90s. I think we'll see mid-90s on Long Island in most places. In Jersey, mid-90s, maybe even some upper 90s. But look at the backdoor front. Look at what happens in the afternoon. Look at that. So here we are around 5, 6 o'clock. If you're in Suffolk County, man, you are going to be having some much better conditions. Temperatures are going to be dropping into the 70s, maybe even 60s with this backdoor cold front. It's going to be very dramatic. Here we are around 7 o'clock tomorrow, and look at that. You can already see it now starting to move through Nassau County. And there it is. And you can see it moving through. And then it looks like it does make it to the Jersey Shore. So even the Jersey Shore will get some relief. And then much cooler on Wednesday. We're talking highs possibly only in the upper 60s. Much, much cooler conditions. But as you go further southwest, I mean, Atlantic City, you're not going to get any relief. You're still going to be near 90. Same thing for Philadelphia. All right, so this is going to be a very interesting backdoor cold front that comes through. Very strong. This is probably the best example of a backdoor cold front that we have. So it's going to be very nice when it comes through, and it'll bring so much more, much better conditions across our area once it comes through. So let's now dive into the longer range. Now that we've gotten the short range out of the way, obviously tomorrow we're going to have a brutal day. And again, we can look at the Ventus sky and kind of show that. I also want to look at this for possible storm threats as well. So when we go to the temperature for tomorrow, we go to 11 o'clock, you see it's blazing. No sea breeze at all. 2 o'clock, no sea breeze. We're blazing in the 90s. You can see that. Maybe right at the beach there might be a sea breeze. But then look what happens as we get toward 4 o'clock. Here comes the backdoor front. First over Montauk. Then it makes its way over Riverhead by 6 o'clock. We move this to 8 o'clock. And it starts making its way into the western parts of Long Island. So let me go look at these and use the thunderstorm because there might be some cape here. I see some cape. So an isolated severe thunderstorm, look at that, there's even some over the east end, is possible tomorrow. We're going to have to look at the Storm Prediction Center as well with that. You can get a severe thunderstorm from a backdoor cold front. More likely over New Jersey, but it could happen anywhere. So that Cape is definitely up there quite a bit inland. Let's look at the lifted index as well, and you can see again, this shows the backdoor cold front very well. Here we are at 5 o'clock, and you see again, most of it's over New Jersey, but I wouldn't surprise me if we see a little bit of activity over Long Island, particularly the western part. It could pop anywhere, you know what I'm saying? So let me go to the Storm Prediction Center, and we'll see if they put us in any risk. Now, this whole Midwestern area is getting slammed again. These are all the storm reports from yesterday. It was quite a storm in Sioux Falls last night. And you can see this is, again, the day one convective outlook here. But let's go to day two. It just has a thunderstorm threat over us. Nothing severe, but most of the severe stuff's going to be in the Midwest. But again, you can't rule anything out. So let's go back to the... let's go to the GFS here and look at the longer range pattern as we head into, and we're going to actually go to the North American view. You can see all that heat that we're dealing with there, trying to creep back up into the area again. All right, but you can sort of see where that backdoor front is. All right, but we're going to get to that later. Let's go look at the jet streams here. So this is the issue we have, is a very dysfunctional jet stream, and you can see. Look at this ridge. It's going actually. Look at that ridge actually going into Greenland there like that. That's crazy. So you can see we have a very dysfunctional jet stream. And you can see the tendency for ridging in the east. However, it looks like a couple of troughs do come through as we get to June. So that might temper the heat a little bit. All right. Looking at the upper air pattern. You can see the huge ridge here. But it looks like we do have some troughing in the east, which is a good sign. So that would temper the heat and hopefully prevent us from really seeing any really hot weather like we're going to see tomorrow for a while. So let's go to the temperature anomaly chart now. And this kind of tells the story here. Here's tomorrow, bright red. You can see that backdoor cold front there. You can see, again, where the cooler air is out west. And then the backdoor cold front comes through. It has us near normal, but we might be below normal. Wind up being below normal on Wednesday. Perhaps you can see below normal over New England. And then for Thursday, we're slightly a little bit above normal, but not dramatically so. And then we start going into some more below normal temperatures here, to near normal to below normal temperatures. All right. So you see nothing really crazy with the heat. Tomorrow is going to be the worst day we'll see for a while. That's the good news. So it's just going to be, grin and bear it situation, but it's going to be a quick blast of heat, fortunately. So let's go to the surface map, and we'll show you again here. Here's tomorrow with the brutal weather, and then the backdoor front comes through Wednesday, and then we'll have a rain chance overnight, and we have this cold front that's going to try to get through and hopefully actually make it through Friday, and then we should have a nice weekend with high pressure. That over there could be our first tropical system. They're watching that closely, and the high builds in, and then this tropical system here should hopefully stay away and stay offshore, but we do have some chances for precipitation. But the highs do come through. We have cold fronts moving through, which is good to see, especially when you have a tropical system offshore, because you don't want it coming near us. And if cold fronts come through and troughs come through, you'll kick it out to see where it belongs. So now that you've seen all that, let's go a little closer back into our area and look at the skies and some of the other model projections that we have. I guess we'll first start with the temperatures here on the GFS. So we are now looking at the GFS temperatures, and you'll see again, here we are tomorrow. We're going to blaze 90s. You see, there's your backdoor cold front. See it right there, right here. There it is. There it is coming in, and that is going to push the heat back. And you'll see tomorrow night it comes through. Look at that. Really, really great example of a backdoor cold front there. And then for Wednesday, highs only. Maybe we'll see low 70s. But you'll see, look at that. Long Island, we're going to be upper 60s, low 70s. But if you're in the southern half of New Jersey, you're still dealing with temperatures near 90 degrees in New Jersey. That's why it's hell there. It's hot. And then for Thursday, we'll see an increase in the temperatures. All right. And let me look at the airflow so you can see again. Winds go a little more southerly. This kind of shows the cold front coming through. Here's Friday. dry air, and then we're going to have dry air right through next weekend here. Comfortable dew points, dry weather, and you start to see a little increase in the dew points as you head toward next week, but it gets pushed back by the cold front again. So that's very good to see. We're going to be spared some of this brutalness now for a little while. So here's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 70s, weekend 70s. So near normal to a little bit below normal, but definitely a lot better. We're not seeing any crazy heat here as we go into the month of June. So it's very good, and that kind of goes with the long range too. If we go and we look at the long range from the Climate Prediction Center, you'll see that your 6 to 10 day actually has us near normal, below normal in the Midwest. And then if we go to the 18 Forte, that below normal creeps a little more toward the east. Precipitation will be slightly above normal. All right, so that kind of, matches up with what we're seeing here. So let's see about skies next. And we'll first go to the RGEM for that. And so as we head into tomorrow, we'll have that cirrus, we'll have that haze probably around, but there'll be plenty of sunshine. But then you see the clouds pop up with their backdoor front isn't here. Here it comes now. As for Wednesday, probably going to have plenty of clouds around that backdoor cold front. And then Thursday we'll have clouds. And then this is as far as it goes. This is as far as this goes into Friday right now, right? We can also look at the GFS as well with this. So let's go look at the GFS cloud model as well, even though it is low resolution, so you can see a lot of those high clouds. As far as when we would have a clear day, perhaps by Friday, the weekend, we might have some nice clear sunny days. We'll have to wait till then probably. We need that dry air in place. We can also look at one of the model, the NAM3 for the sky cover, and I also want to look at this also for the precipitation. So here's your sky cover for tomorrow. Again, you'll see the sun, but then those clouds. We have some clouds and some thunderstorms built. That looks like a pretty hefty thunderstorm right there, just looking at the sky. And then Wednesday, we'll have plenty of clouds. And if the sun doesn't come out at all, that's why we may wind up being below normal, highs only in the 60s. Now let's go and look at our precipitation here. So let's see what happens. You can see a couple of thunderstorms there popping up. So could see a couple of thunderstorms. And then a couple of showers perhaps Wednesday morning. But Wednesday itself should be dry, just clouds. And then here comes this front, this cold front that would come through. And I guess Wednesday night we might see some thunderstorms from that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that too. So definitely some changing weather going on. But the good news is it's just one blast of heat tomorrow and we get it over with. And then we're not going to have to deal with it for a while. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care and thank you for watching.